Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 4Strategy Gaming and the reveal of the Diablo 3 auction house. There will be two forms of auction house, one in which gold is the currency and the second in which real world money is the currency. Yes, you heard correctly, you can buy and sell items in Diablo 3 using real world money. Certainly an exciting prospect for anyone who looks to play a ton. You can make a little bit of extra cash. Now let's go into a little more detail about the auction house in Diablo 3. It's going to function much like an eBay for Diablo 3. Players can buy and sell items using real-world currency. There will be separate auction houses depending on currency type, so US dollar, euro, yen, sheep, whatever your currency is, there will be a separate auction house for it. Available for sale will be items, gold, and components. There is also a possibility of character sales. In the screenshot, it does show character sales, but we were informed that it wasn't going to be in the initial release of the auction house. The auction house will be accessed through a Battle.net in-game. Now, something else to note about the auction house, this is very important, this is not going to be a Blizzard store. Blizzard will not be selling items or gold through the auction house. The auction house will be player-driven, and it is used as a way to facilitate player trading. There will be flat fees associated with any transaction in the auction house. Although the exact amount is undetermined, it is said to be very small. There will be both a listing fee and a sale fee. Now, again, it is important to note that those are flat fees. They will not be fluctuating depending on the type of sale or how large the sale is. If you happen to sell an item for $200, the fee to you will not be any greater than if you sell an item for $1. And with that said, it's also important to note that there will be a set amount of free listings every week, and this allows you to get into the trading game without putting any money down. So for example, if you want to start trading and you want to start making some money by selling some gear, you may not have to invest in those initial fees if you utilize those free listings every week. So you sell a few items using the free listings, you get no fees, and then you start to accumulate a balance. You will have an in-game Battle.net balance, and with that you have two options. You can either move it onto your Battle.net account balance, and that's going to allow you to do things like buy merchandise from the Blizzard store, buy future games, buy subscription time to other games, all sorts of things. Anything you could buy through the Battle.net store, you'd be able to use that Battle.net account balance for. Or you may link up to a third-party payment provider. Now, they are going to be working with a specific provider. We don't know who that is as of yet, but we're going to assume it will be something like PayPal, in which you're able to access your money online, draw it into your bank account. A system much like that is likely what we can expect. In terms of features, the auction house, it will be boasting a few pretty neat features. There will be auto bidding in case there's an item you desperately want and you don't care how high it gets it bid up. There's also a smart search by class, and something really neat about this is not does it only search for items by your class, but it also looks for specific upgrades for you, so it won't be showing you gear that clearly wouldn't work for you. Clearly the gear base will be gigantic, especially if the auction houses are only separated by currency, but with this smart search it should make finding items you want that much easier. Also, players will be staying anonymous in the auction house. You don't have to worry about your identity in-game being exposed as to what you're selling or anything like that. There will be no names attached to any sales or transactions on the auction house. You'll be able to access your shared stash when posting on the auction house, so you don't have to finagle your way into like, okay, I want this piece of gear, and then put it into like a certain slot or anything like that. It'll just be accessed through your shared stash, so if you want to sell an item on the auction house in Diablo 3, just throw it in your shared stash and you will be all set. Also, secure item transfers, pretty much guaranteed here. This will be a much safer situation than any of those third-party sites that would be selling gear in older games. One important thing to note as well about the real world money auction house is that hardcore players will not be able to use it. The idea behind this is they do not want players spending their real money in a hardcore character only to have it die. That could be an incredibly frustrating situation if someone spent, say, hundreds of dollars in gear, the hardcore character dies, and then see you later. So that's certainly a situation they want to avoid, and as such, hardcore players will not be able to use the real money auction house. In terms of reasons why, a few of the bullet point reasons is what first and foremost players want it. Look for evidence to the third-party sites and forums and how popular they were in Diablo 2. The fact that this is almost guaranteed to happen in Diablo 3 is a big part of the reason why Blizzard drove to just implement it themselves. It's also going to be good for buyers and sellers. I mean, this is going to act like a real market because it will be a real market. Prices will be driven and lowered depending on market needs. It also works with the design of the Diablo system, just the item acquisition and everything that the game is about. This will be a nice addition to it. And lastly, it adds depth and fun to the long-term game. I think that that's a really important note for myself. I mean, long-term game, this is going to become, it'll kind of be like stock trading in all honesty, being able to go up on the auction house and find items that maybe are being sold for lower than they should be. If you take a look at the auction house in World of Warcraft, it's a complete game in and of itself, and I expect this to be much the case for Diablo 3 as well, especially given the fact that real money is involved. So pretty exciting stuff. I know this is certainly a big deal. I'd love to hear you guys' comments below. I kind of just read off the major points and facts behind the auction house, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it quite in depth for the next few weeks because this is obviously going to be a big topic of debate. So let me know below what you guys think. A real world money auction house with everything that I just said, anything pertaining to real money. You can also realize there's a gold auction house as well, so you do not have to use the real money if you do not want to. You could just use the in-game gold currency auction house and be done with it. And the fact that they are giving us the option, I think, is another phenomenal thing as well. But I'll tell you one thing, I will be selling my items for real money, and it'll be friggin' awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this content. Again, let me know what you think below. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. It helps so much. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.